welcome to Spring Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Today, we have a ladder game, and it's on Forgotten Facilities. Map I've featured before. Here's a player I haven't featured before though, Spacexman. No idea who this guy is. Maybe he's somebody's Smurf. If you know who he is, let me know. Be interesting to know. And here we have Dukenukem, better known as this is a Smurf. Search and Destroy, I should say, or Doom. So yeah, we got UEF versus Cyber and Forgotten Facilities. So we have... So on this map you can actually do 2 PGens second land. And that sounds bizarre, and it is, but it works. I'm not sure exactly why it works, but I think it's because of the lack of mexes. So if you look at how much a mex costs in power, 360 power, which is like half a PGen. So you only have 2 to build with your ACU, and then you have basically 3 that are kind of close, and you also have a Hydra to work with, so you can actually make it work with 2 PGens, 2 mexes, and second land factory. Neither player going for that here though. We're both going second air, and we got a lab, a little M&M. So let's see where this lab goes. Probably this is really a great area to send the lab. You can also send one down here to deny this chunky reclaim. That's an obsidian wreck, I believe. We also have chunky wrecks in mid, also obsidian wrecks, I believe. They're quite good. So 2 places to well, really you have a few places to send labs. So here we're seeing the lab going to the plateau to kill this expanding engineer, which is a very important one. You can see how many mexes this guy has queued up. You definitely want to send more than 1 engineer here, because I mean look, he has a factory planned before some of the mexes, so that's not exactly the quickest expansion. So you're going to want to send a couple more engineers here rather than just 1, but the lab gets the kill. Good engineer to kill. You will also see labs go try and kill this engineer moving to the left, and also the engineers at the Hydra. There's a lot of room for lab to maneuver around here. So yep. Apologies, people keep messaging me. Good bomber. So this is really great early harassment. You can see Doom is only just starting to get his harassment going with these 2 mantis. And it looks like he'll be successful. There's only a tank and a scout to defend, barring some unheard of god tier micro. This is not going to work. So will he get the engineer though? Looks like the engineer is running away very well. Oh, a reclaim order would be great right now, but no. Saved by this ridge, and engineer survives. Over here we have a dead tank. Attempted follow-up raid here to once again deny the expanding engineer. I think he tried to place that on the reclaim so that he would automatically reclaim it, but he actually missed the good chunk there. But despite that, you can see that this great early aggression from Spacexman. Doom has a better build order basically, and he is slower to expand, perhaps slightly. Well, Spacexman is quite slow moving in this direction, but he already has 2 T2 mexes already, and actually already has grabbed the water mexes, which are very easy to forget about, and they have quite a long travel time to actually take them. So one problem I'm seeing here in Spacexman's view is all of his tanks are just in his base, and this NG was idle in this area for quite a while. Good place to put and is now unprotected. I think we just see a radar signature. What? Yeah, there he is. And there's no other engineer nearby either, so that's another good kill. Again, a problem with basically just having your tanks in your base rather than moving out across the map, where he's basically allowed Doom to get these two T2 mexes by leaving his tanks in his base. That's very unfortunate. Doom would be in a lot worse of a situation if SpaceX had got better rally points and just used his tanks a bit better already. You can see there's zero defense on this side, for example. Already have an engineer on the left hand side. Did we have a transport perhaps, or I see. He took this mex and walked. I think you can walk up here somewhere. Perhaps? Or maybe just up there. But that's good expansion. Bit of a fight in mid. There's always a danger that you just die to a load of tanks and the ACU in mid, because you can see there's basically a direct path from one base to another, which is quite an important feature on maps. It's always important to know to understand how far away the enemy base is, because that dictates a lot of timing. So you can simply just die to every produced unit going into mid and running into your ACU if you commit too many units to the side. So you always have to be careful. Say for example this quite chunky army, we have a similar one on the other side, even bigger in fact. And then along with Doom's very heavy ecoing, then that makes mid very dangerous for the ACU. You could just get overrun very quickly, which almost happened there. You can see Doom lost a fair bit of HP and now may suffer a run by. And so we have Spacexman is upgrading his ACU in mid, and he's getting T2. That'll give him some HP back, which he does need quite badly. Seems like he's forgotten about a few bits of reclaim here and there. This is very good raiding. T2 Mex is going to die to some T1 units. Maybe there's a chance to kill another one, perhaps not though. But all these mexes are dead now. But you can see the difference in expansion time is huge. Only taking this now, whereas Doom has had this for several minutes. And even though he had a huge tank advantage, Spaceman, he still lost this expansion and has yet to grab the reclaim that was left there. Doom has air control, but there are mobile AAs mixed into this army already, which is very good. T2 land now from Doom, and we look at Spacexman. Do we have any? No, we have no T2 mexes. We actually have a couple of mexes missing that just simply haven't been grabbed. It's not that they've been killed, I believe, but they just haven't been taken. So it looks to me as though Spaceman lacks for APM, I would say. But what he lacks in APM, he will make up for in UEF balls. T2 PD creep now, and he's being very aggressive with it. You see, he has such a huge unit advantage. A lot of time in PD creep, you may actually have a slight unit disadvantage, or you may have even units perhaps, and you have to kind of start quite far back. That's what he did, but now he realizes, well, I don't need to stand Don't need to stand so far back. I can just start almost in this guy's base and just start using my PDs. Now this one will go down, but he can actually, I'm pretty sure he can just keep rebuilding this and push in, and actually it looks like he wants to get some damage on the ACU. And damage on the ACU is really useful right now because it will put the ACU out of the fight for a long time, and that's really what you need to take out T2PDs, try and OC them before they can get built and stuff. But it looks like there's actually a ton of PDs already back here. T1, T2, T2PD is done as well, so no dice on that push. Maybe he'll go back to the old PD creep. But this is a good way to defend PD creep, is have your own PDs. Unfortunately, yes, Cybern PDs, I think Vipers would be a better choice. Get out a couple of those and PDs will no longer be a problem. This PD actually is expertly placed to kill any units trying to slip past. Maybe it could have been a bit closer to not let any pass, but that worked pretty well. And we also have 2 dead T2 mexes here. Or perhaps that was T1. But this was T2 anyway. As was this. Still, yeah, you could definitely see the lack of APM. I mean, these, and also a distinct lack of scouting. Doom, meanwhile, is under huge pressure. I mean, he has so many mexes, but he needs to defend his pusher. It doesn't matter how many mexes he has. T2 Gen here, and a huge mass stall. He needs to get out some attack move engineers to suck up this reclaim. There's a ton of it here. Look at all this T1 Rex. And he has got the gun. That's a good defense. I like the choice of the gun better than getting T2. He can already make T2 PDs. He has the T2 tech already. So certainly gun is more valuable when there's so much T1 units, and also you can... Well, yeah, it's basically good for fighting the T1 units. I would have liked to see Vipers more than Rhinos for sure. Even just 2 or 3 will do great work, because it would at least force out TMD, and TMD is not very efficient versus Cybern MMLs. Here we see the power of Cybern versus Triads with the Medusa. The stuns are really fantastic. Kills so much DPS, but now there's 4 PDs, almost 5 PDs in range of this HQ, and it's dead. No more T2 tech right now. Well, that's bad. He just lost his 2 T2 engineers, and he doesn't even have a support factory here. So he has no T2 tech for the near future. Over here we see he does have a support factory. And the replacement HQ is going up on the left hand side. I like this move because he may just get pushed straight through here, but he still has a base on the left, so maybe this is going to allow him to get support factory up and get some more T2 tech and more PDs. But if we look at the score, I mean, Spaceman has like half the eco, not a single T2 mex, still has not, yeah, he's completely focused on this. He just wants a PD creep straight through this base and win the game that way. But he has no idea. He's not scouting, he's not using air, I think he's doing literally nothing but, well, he got a T2 land HQ, but it seems like he's basically just looking here 95% of the time. There's a T2 Pigeon in range and it's not being shot. Look at this. What is going on here? Can I blame Cybern being OP? Like, what the fuck is going on? This, I've seen this happen quite a lot, but it's difficult to notice in game, and that's the most frustrating part. Now sending in tons of T1 land and some T2 is mixed in there, but it's tanks. It has to be arty, not tanks, because he's just fighting PDs, and tanks don't do well versus T1 PDs, they don't do well versus T2 PDs, and they don't do well versus Guncom either, so he's still doing damage. But imagine if these were arties instead of tanks. Also bearing in mind arties are cheaper than tanks, so I think more arties and he may have wiped his base already. But down here we have a significant T2 force and T1, and Spaceman looks to have not noticed it. There's no radar in his base. Now here come the tanks moving in. He's still looking. Oh wow, arty, and it's also not connected to the PGen, unfortunately, which will give it a rate of fire increase and a cost decrease to fire, because they do cost power to shoot. See there, minus 100 while it's charging. That would be reduced if it had some adjacency, but it doesn't, unfortunately. He has noticed this attack, but he hasn't really sent enough tanks to deal with it. There's still 5 or 6 rhinos here. And these arties, it's a really strange idea to make these arties, because you can see he has T2PDs in range of almost everything in the base. T2PD is about 4 times cheaper than a T2 arty, and most of the range is even wasted on this arty, so strange idea. And he's still losing his base to these rhinos. Yeah, 6 rhinos just ravaging this base. What the fuck am I watching? So, mammoth amount of T2PDs. I think both these players... Oh wow. This is even more forward. Let's see the range on this thing. Do it this way. Yeah. Not really much point when you could just... Wow. A lot of stuff died there. I think that's the remnants of a whole bunch of NGs that were making Cybern arties. The worst arties, I think. They have such bad accuracy. Dukenukem... Wow. It's a lot of PDs to run into. 100 kills on that ACU, what a hero. But speaking of heroes, these rhinos just cut a swathe through the base of Spaceman. And over here we have fucking T2 mechs dying once again. T2 mechs on this side. We have T2 mechs in the water. We have a T3 mechs in the water. Oh, that's an interesting graphical bug. And it's not present on the other ones. T3 mechs. Over here we have a T3 mechs. Another one started. T3 land done. 3 T2 PGens. Not a single clue that any of that is happening. I mean, surely in this scenario you've wiped out the entire base of your opponent essentially. And you see you don't see any power. Killed the PGen. You killed all the T1 PGens, the Hydro. You see T2 mechs. You still see him building stuff. And you see more units coming down the side of your base, which you still have not reclaimed. You should really be wondering where maybe these units are coming from, or how the game is still continuing. And now we have loyalists moving out, so arties versus loyalists. Interesting matchup there. I think I know who I would bet on. So looking at the income, I mean, meanwhile, we still have like 20 income for the Spaceman. That's because he actually lost this P-Gen somehow. I completely missed how he lost that P-Gen. Apologies for that, but he's remaking it. He's also making T3 land. I guess he knows there's... I mean, if you're making T3 land, you must surely know that there's something going on. And here are loyalists. Loyalists are pretty fantastic versus pillars. He really needs that P-Gen because he has just a huge amount of reclaim. Look at these, how much is in these. Over 1,000 reclaim in those RT-Rex alone each. And Dukenukem runs to the hills. He's got some bubble gum to chew. And drones. Oh, we actually have kennels. Okay, interesting. Not exactly efficient. I would really, I think we need more factories. We need more forward factories. Should have had a forward factory maybe in mid while he was doing that whole T2 push. He had a lot of reclaim in front of him that wasn't being used, but this, you can see he's already basically given up on this base by making a separate HQ over here. Dukenukem even trying to steal some water mexes from him. More T3 mexes. This is going to T3. I mean, this is... Why would you make a T3 mex in the water where you can't surround it with storage when you have two T1 mexes in your now main base where you have two T3 mexes? What the fuck is this game? So T1 and T2 land, running into a bunch of PDs and some loyalists. That's not gonna end well for them. Space remains alive by the mercy of Doom. And Spaceman still believes. What? I mean, what is the plan here? You see Percy's being built. And these PDs are quite good. They can they'll defend versus loyalists for a while. I think both players messed up by not making any shields basically in that base push. Maybe they didn't have power for it, that's understandable, but wow, going straight to T2 mexes. Love it. And actually going straight to T2 and storage. Now that's a huge stall. He has 17 mass income. Oh my god. 17. He has two T1 mexes and a T2 mex now. A storage T2 mex. That is some fast tracked eco right there. Arties, just this is still alive. There's even a T2 mex here. Madness. So we have Percy's out. We have Spaceman colonizing Doom's old base. Doom has settled a previously unexplored area, you know. Didn't have to genocide any natives to take over that area, that plot of land. Looks like he wants to grab the other corner as well. Maybe he'll even take Spaceman's base. But I really wonder... Doom, it feels like Doom is just taking the piss right now. Wow. We have a frigate. Oh, maybe we'll see T2 Navy. Now that would be just salt in the wound. But I really think he could just kill... Let's see, we have like 21 T3 units. We have 2 hoplites. 18 kills. How long have they been alive, man? 17, 18 kills on those hoplites. I wonder how long they've been around. Probably about 20 minutes. T3 mechs now, and another one started. Meanwhile, still haven't taken these ones. He has cleaned up most of this recon though. Another mechs forgotten about. And how will Doob in this game? I mean, he could do basically anything. He's going T2 air HQ, T3 air HQ. Yep, that seems like an easy way to end the game. And he's oh my god, what am I? He's queuing up ASF. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know what he expects to kill with these ASF. 6 interceptors. That's maybe better killed in other ways, or even simply ignored. You know, I'm pretty sure a strap bomber can kill 6 inties, just saying. Oh boy. So, oh, okay, changed his mind. Yeah, I think the gunships can also kill the 6 ASF. So that's what we got. We got some gunships. And we don't have any flak for oh, we have one flak, a stationary flak. Here comes another T2 mechs from Spaceman, Neil Armstrong. And I think we just wait for Doom to get bored, I guess. He doesn't look bored though to me. Looks like he's having fun. GG. Spaceman got bored first. He saw the T3 gunships and realized, oh, I can no longer win this game. Well, he realized eventually. Doom just ripping the piss. What a game. 1700 versus 1850. How many T3 mexes did he make in the end? 9 T3 mexes. 4 of them in the water. And we have 15 T2 mexes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, bizarre game. Kind of funny. And well played both players. That PD creep was c'est magnifique. Yep, beautiful. Unfortunately, just a complete lack of scouting. Maybe he could have PD creeped this base as well then instead. We'll never know. Anyway, GG. See you next time.